the video recording for YouTube, and last but certainly not least, we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Boss! Woo!
I love those little harmonic tones. It's like one of those where,
I love it.
everybody says it at the same time and it sounds like a quartet almost.
I'm tone deaf, so
Oh, yeah, all right. Well, fair enough.
it.
You ever listen to Rock 105.3 when they did the tone deaf karaoke?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I think of myself that way. I have that kind of singing voice. But I love singing in the car. I don't know. Do you?
No.
Not at all?
No, my kids have
Toned you
drilled
out?
it in my head that
Baby
I just stop.
shark.
No, wait,
No, nothing?
My kids are too old for that one.
Oh, you're never too old. I heard it in a club mix.
Oh, God.
Not that I was at the club, but I heard the club mix. So that makes a big difference. All right, let's get some of this housekeeping stuff through. We got some new friends on Facebook, by the way. We got Luis Navarro. We got Sean Levinton. And a couple businesses. Maceo's Shirts. Charlie's Best Bread in PB. And Urban Wood in downtown.
Ooh.
Shouting them out so that we can get a talking to them, too. All right. And then, as always, we want to make sure we remind you guys we are doing the 365 pairs of shoes. And we got some monetary contributions. So we can take those, buy some shoes. Do I want to say anything more than that? Maybe, maybe not. Either way.
Not a stoner. Put it that way.
There you go. But we really appreciate it, whether you're bringing shoes or whether you're bringing contributions. We can go out and buy some shoes. 365 pairs of shoes is what we're shooting for. Lastly, we got collaborative marketing workshop that's going on Monday the 25th at 6 p.m. If you are an insurance agent and you want some CE, you're going to get 4 hours of CE credit. So make sure you guys get out there. If you're not in insurance, but you're in real estate, you're in taxes, you're in some other professional service, might be a good idea to get to know each other so you have a referral source. Because we're going to be talking to our guest here today, and she is big on referral business. So if you guys really want to take your business to the next level, you want to be a top producer in real estate, you need to find ways to generate business. Referrals are a great way to generate business, especially professionals like insurance agents, like tax professionals, like lawyers, other people in other industries that are working with clients in your I guess, economic area, ready to rock and roll. They know stuff about your client that you might not, and they might need to refer somebody. Why not be you? So anyways, we're going to tag the information. It's under insuranceblockchain.center/collaboration, by the way. It's $50, but if you go and register, type in Business Bros, you're going to get it for $10, and it comes with a meal.
Biz Bros.
Oh, Biz Bros. B-I-Z Bros?
B-I-Z-B-R-O-S.
Okay, Biz Bros. I guess product, the promo code has to be shorter. That's okay. So you'll get it for $10, meal, and I heard a drink. Don't quote me on the drink, but it does definitely come with a meal. So 6 o'clock on Monday. You ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
All right. So we have a special guest from Big Block Realty here today. Somebody who's going out of their shell.
A little bit.
Normally, from what we were talking about, she's been pretty quiet in the business. Not in production, but quiet in the business. And she's like Jim Carrey. I think it was Jim Carrey movie, right? Yes, Man?
Yeah, that's
right?
correct.
She's saying yes to more things, so we're going to put her on the spot here. Right? Courtney,
Sure.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to see you. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you. I mean, we had a nice long conversation via
Yeah,
DM.
yeah. And we, I signed right up. I said, yes, let's do it.
I said, hey, you sound like somebody who should be on the show. And then it just kind of went the little ... like you were thinking of writing something.
And then delete.
delete.
Like,
And then write it again, delete. But no, you did it.
did it.
That's great. I mean,
it's just a conversation.
it's just a conversation, right?
That's all we're doing.
It's a house with a rainy view.
It's a killer view.
But luckily, you got to see it. I was afraid,
Yeah.
when it rains, usually you can't see downtown anymore. But
Yeah, no, I got it. Because the downtown had sun. The rest...
yeah, IB and TJ didn't.
yeah.
The rain was on its way over there.
It is what it is.
Yeah, well, it wasn't raining until you showed up, so thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, it came from El Cajon with me.
It followed you all the way.
It did. It all the way along.
But your car's clean.
Yeah, and after I drove out to the desert this weekend, and my car needed it, and I've been putting it off, getting my car washed, and now I don't have to anymore. So
there you go.
It saved me some money.
See? Thank you, rain. So, but go away because I just paid the person to come and cut the grass and all that stuff. So we don't need all that.
I got a roof inspection tomorrow, so I need
perfect.
The roofer to get up there. So.
Perfect. All right, Courtney, tell me a little bit about your background. Why real estate? I mean, this is kind of a brutal industry, and you jumped right in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Boston. My dad was a realtor out here. Well, back up. I grew up in Boston. I spent most of my time there. I actually moved to England for a few years.
What?
My dad's job. And then my parents split up. My dad moved to San Diego, and my mom moved back to Boston. So it was high school, and I wasn't really feeling it. I went to boarding school. I played hockey. Kind of over it. I just wanted to work. So I've always just been a worker. I just want to go out and work. So I got a job at TGI Fridays.
Nice.
Met my husband. Had my first daughter, and then my dad was out here killing it. Like he was a big REO guy down in South Bay, and he said, he was making $1 million a year. This was 2004.
Oh,
yeah. So it was
they're in a hot market.
Yeah. So he's like, "Come on out," and I was just like, "Well, what else am I doing? I'm at TGI Fridays with the Jack."
Oh yeah, you got the career. You got the career going right there, right? That's
Well,
exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life.
You'd be surprised. Working at a restaurant really trains you for, it's multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard other people talking about like working at used car sales places. Restaurant life is the same. You're dealing with people that are just not happy. It's customer service. It's multitasking. It's fast paced. So it was a good, for what I was doing. I was making a lot of money. I was like, but then the allure of Southern California and shitloads of money.
Yeah.
So
it's California. You add another zero to it, right? Yeah.
So we sold our condo. We moved out here. My husband had no job. He had, no idea what we were doing. We're okay, Dad. And then so I started working for him in 2004. I ran his shit. He was doing about 100 units, I'd say a year, 150. And so between the two of us, we were just getting the REOs out. Got licensed in 2006. And then the market crapped out. Yeah,
that's a big change.
It was like, oh shit, that was the first oh shit moment of my career. It was like, well, this might not go the way that, the allure of coming out here, and then all of a sudden the market tanked. But he was very smart, and he tied into 3 different major banks: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and IndyMac. We got all their REOs, like Chula Vista area, East Lake, National City. And then, I was at an open house. We used to do a lot of REDC auction open houses. I was on a tear where I wanted to do 30 open houses in 30 days.
Whew.
If anyone wants to get a good business going, if they're new, do the 30-day challenge. Do your 30 open houses in 30 days and follow up with those people. And believe me, you won't be one of the statistics.
One of the statistics. Yeah. Try to say that 5 times fast.
What do they say? How many agents fail in the first 2 years?
Oh my gosh, it's like 87% of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So one open house changed my life. I was at a Tabor Drive in Chula Vista. It was an REDC auction open house. I was pregnant with my second, I believe, or third. Because I have 3 daughters, and then a 4th I inherited, a stepdaughter. And then I met one guy, and I gave him my card, and I really wasn't feeling it. And he said he was a broker. He owned a property management company. I was like, okay, well, that's probably a lost cause. Gave him my card. 6 months later, without a single follow-up, the guy called me back. I want to buy some REOs. Okay, this was like 2008. Okay, let's do it. So it was one sale, and then the next month it was 2, and then it was 3, and then by like 2011 we were buying 10 a month, and then by 2013 he stopped. Yeah. I had my next oh shit moment that I put all the eggs in this basket, and I actually decided to part ways with my dad. I actually changed my last name, and I just wanted to prove to myself that I didn't need anybody and I could do it on my own.
So you wanted to, step out there in the real world, but by that point you already had a lot of experience. I mean, you had grinded the 30 for 30.
Yes.
Right. You reaped the benefits of actually doing the work and following up.
Yes.
And now that well dried up, but you knew exactly how to go fishing.
Yeah, it was, and also the sheer knowledge of actually being able to handle a mass quantity of listings. I thought 100 deals a year was normal. So in my brain, that's what I was supposed to be doing. So when, I had my second oh shit moment, I was like, well, how come, doing 10 deals a year, this is not what I wanted. And then I figured out ways, my business is always, I don't cold call. I've never cold called. I've never door knocked. I'm a quiet person. I'm not, unless I have a couple drinks.
A little bit of whiskey goes a long way.
I've always said that, my noise is the success that I give.
Yeah, your work shows, it speaks for you.
Right. So as, the market has changed and, people are going more towards video, I try to hide. But I understand that the market's changing and that things are done differently. But, just this past December, that same client from 10 years ago, throughout the years, he's given me so many referrals, this company, so they that one open house, we're now selling about another 90 of their units. Starting this past December, I think we're down 6 so far. But that one open house is so far about 250 units.
One open house.
One open house.
Let's be honest. It's not going to happen to everybody to find that kind of connection.
No.
But, if you weren't out there doing the 30 for 30.
Right. Well, and people are like, oh, well, it was handed to you. You got lucky. But to maintain relationships over the course of a decade, they're high. I hope they don't listen to this, but they're high maintenance. There's a lot going on. Every 6 months I priced the whole, or 6 to 12 months I priced the whole package of properties for them. So there was about 146 at one time in their pool. Mm-hmm. So for the investors, I'd spend weeks and price them all out, and spreadsheet, you should see the spreadsheet. And then I kept, when we were writing about 100 offers a week, because everything that they bought was from the MLS. There was no there was a couple off
every
markets.
Once in a while. Yeah.
But it wasn't double-ended stuff just for me. I was on that MLS every day writing hundreds of offers a week.
Oh, we were lucky. Contract.
Yeah. Well, they've changed it a few times.
Yeah, but for the most part.
Yeah, and it's to do a volume like that, I just thought that was normal because that's what I just was thrown into, and that's just what I did.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the high maintenance thing. It's not so much that it's high maintenance, it's that they have a lot of when somebody's able to run that sort of operation, right, who's purchasing that kind of stuff, they have certain expectations of what needs to be done. Right. So, they had they need a lot of things, but it's a testament to you because you're providing that service. Right. If you messed it up,
I'd be done.
You'd be done.
Well, there was a point where he had another guy working north of the 8, and I would take south of the 8. And then there was a time, and I want to say it was like 2010, he was just like, the other guy's not cutting it, you got it all. And then all of a sudden I was like...
Doubling your work.
Well, doubling the work, but also doubling the cash. Mm-hmm. And, that's I was, okay, well, now I can provide for my family. I don't have to get, my dad was paying me on the side to do his, the work, mm-hmm, the maintenance, the REO, there's so many portals that you have to, BPOs and repair bids. And it was just so much work. We'd have 30 from each bank at any given time. So, in various stages of
safe
sale.
To say you're a listing agent.
No, see, that's I love buyers. I started off as a buyer's agent, and I really, I didn't have a listing until I had my second oh shit moment, and I was like, okay, well, I got to do this. I got to figure out how to do this, and that's when I went after the listings. I didn't know any better. I was just being told, like, okay, well, other than the investor, it was. My dad was he had about 60 websites. And even when I was in Boston, I was probably the first virtual assistant. I would get the leads would come off of one of his websites, and I would put them in a Sandicor, now SDMLS. Yes. So I would, they didn't have CRMs back then. They didn't have automatic. It was like you had to manually put each person in. So he would get probably about 300 leads a week off his website, where the point where Sandicor called him and said, we can't allow you to do this anymore. So
you're too busy,
and
sir.
now there's a 500 person limit, Well, at that time. And so I think they did it because of him. So then he just kept on opening up assistant accounts on Sandicore and just stacking them full of leads because there was no CRMs. There was nothing. So, but before I even moved to San Diego, I knew every zip code in this county before I even lived here.
You had a mental map of the whole place.
You gotta know where you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it, you know, and people, I don't have like a farm. I sell, you know, I just took a listing in LA. Like, I don't care. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'm saying yes more.
Yeah, you're saying yes more. I mean, you got the opportunity to listen to the podcast because you were driving all over the place. But
yeah.
That's kind of how the business works for you.
So it's one of those things. They're like, well, where do you service? I'm like, I live in Ramona. I actually rent a space at the East Lake office for Big Block. But I have listings, you know, I'm talking to a lady in San Clemente. Like, I just took a listing up in Tarzana. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Real estate's real estate. If I didn't think I could service it, I wouldn't take it.
That's pretty impressive, though. I mean, just the fact that you're willing to travel all that ways.
I like the car. I listen to my books, but now I've been listening to your podcast.
Nice. Well, thank you.
So it's been helping out.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just a whole different world because there's so much to be said. Okay, so for example, you said you don't have a farming market. You pretty much go anywhere you go. The other thing you said earlier was you don't cold call. But does that mean you don't communicate with your former clients? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, people ask me. I didn't get a CRM until like a year and a half ago. People were like, how do you contact your clients? I'm like, well, I got my iPhone. what else? I have my, you know, it's not forced with me. And I'm not going to say that this works for everybody, but I'm just more natural with the way that I choose to interact. Like, I'm not going to call you on your 1 year anniversary of buying a house. That's just not the way I am. But I know from Facebook, we're friends. I know your daughter just, you know, had a big milestone, and I comment on it, and I let you know that I'm thinking about you. Like, I interact without being intrusive, and it just comes more naturally for me. It's just who I am, and you know, I've had brokerages, been through a couple brokerages, but one of them, you know, one called me uncoachable because I didn't fit into their box. So I don't want a team. I don't want to cold call. How many contacts did you make this week? I'm not counting.
Yeah.
I'm talking to people
every day
because they're my friends, because my clients become my friends, and 5% of my business is from my friends. Like yesterday, I took a listing from a client who's my landlord when I first moved to East Lake. He called me and he said that she needed help selling her house. This is last week when I was at Winter Circle, and I was like, hey, can we meet Tuesday? I'll be back in town. She's like, oh, perfect, fine. Get there. She's like, I need to list Friday. I need to be out of here in 3 weeks. And I was just like, oh, I didn't realize how
pressing this was.
Like, okay, well, you should have said, you know, like, okay. And my friend's like, oh, yeah, I should have told you that. I'm like, I would have, you know.
Dropped everything.
I would have left Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way that, you know, it is. But it's like, I was like, absolutely. And you could tell she actually just needed a hug. She's just going through a lot. And I was like, I will get your house on the market on Friday. Don't worry about it. I handle the house. You deal with your move.
Right. Life is already busy enough.
Got it. So I don't worry about it. I got you. And she's like, okay. So if you do a good job with your current clients, the next client will come.
Yeah, that's something we preach. I mean, # powerful relationships for us. And we say that all the time because that's really, really what it comes down to. You know, everybody's always talking about, you know, growing your circle of influence and finding, you know, asking for the referral. Truth is, if you are a friend, and a friend means that you actually care. A friend means that you comment on their things, like you said, on social media, or, you know, you invite them over, or when it's kids' birthday parties or whatever. These are the people that you interact with. They're going to know who you are, and they're going to send you business. Yeah, I like how you're saying some of them, you know, you haven't physically spoken to them, but you've been part of their life the whole time.
People call me after years, and it's not that, you know, life happens, things happen. But, you know, to say, well, you need to call them 36 times a year, I'm not, if that works for somebody, great, that's fine. But personal growth is personal. And so not everybody's going to grow the same way. And that's why when, you know, there was a company that was saying that, oh, well, you need a team to be successful. Why? Success is having happy clients and helping people through difficult moves. Because moving is not always wanted and needed. You know, so I think I learned that more from being a cash for keys girl for years, is giving people money to give keys to get out. Like, Sometimes there's unfortunate things, and you just want to be there for somebody through their time.
And that's kind of one of those real estate, myths. It's like there's always a bad guy in a transaction. Like whether you say it or not, you always feel like in every transaction there's a bad guy, right? Whether it's the buyer's agent and the seller's agent's a bad guy, or the client's a bad guys, or right. But there's always that bad guy mentality, and that's not necessarily the case. The Cash for Keys program is exactly that.
Right.
Sometimes that tenant is the bad guy. They don't want to leave. They're just jerks or whatever. But you don't know what's going on in their life.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a little bit, like you said, they may not only need a hug.
If you listen to someone's story, I mean, and you relate on a deeper personal level, like that's sometimes that wins you every referral that they'll ever give in their entire life. So if you focus on doing good by somebody, they remember that. You don't need to call them 36 times a year.
You made them feel something.
Right. Like I had my very first buyer, it was a lead from my dad's website, and I showed them multiple homes. And I didn't realize how many homes until 10 years later. I mean, we were Facebook friends. I'd comment here and there. Mm-hmm. And then she called me and she's like, hey, we want to sell our condo in Mission Hills. And I was like, okay, let's go meet over there and we'll do that. And we were talking about it. And she's like, I called you because when we bought this house in Bay Park, you showed us 86 houses. And I was like, yeah.
Seriously?
Well, I want to know how they even added up.
She kept all the printouts. I don't do printouts anymore because I like to save trees. But but this was back in 2000. I want to say 7. They were my very first start to finish, not helping out my dad, like my own. And she said, you showed us and you never complained once and you just made it feel like that's what was supposed to happen. Like we'll find you the right house. So when you don't think about the check. If you think about putting them in the right house, that's where they see that. If you look at them like a dollar sign, mm-hmm. you're not getting their referrals.
They're not transactions. They're not checks.
No, it's relationships.
They're people that you're meeting. And yeah, I mean, again, we say it. Everybody says it. It's the biggest transaction of their life.
Oh yeah.
It's probably the most stressful time in their life, whether they're selling and having a place to move, or they're and don't have a place and they're buying a place for the first time. Whatever it is, that's a big moment in their life, and you're either going to be part of that big moment in a memorable way, or you're going to be part of that moment in a not so memorable way.
And then this past week when we were at Winter Circle out in there in Palm Desert, and the biggest takeaway was they kept talking. There was a gentleman, Sharon, who was talking about if they feel safe with you. Safety is not rapport. Rapport mm-hmm. and walking into someone's house and being like, well, you like, because I'm a Red Sox fan. Oh, you like the Red Sox. I like the Red Sox. Oh, you're from, that's not going to cut it. They need to feel safe. You need to be confident. And there's power in being a little quiet. There really is. So I think that's kind of overlooked when you come across as what you're talking about. You know the comps. You internalize scripts. I've never studied a script in my life. I just talk
like a person?
Like a person. There's no
like
script.
You're actually communicating?
There's no script. There's just internalized dialogue that I know what I need to say to get it across. But I've never studied a script. I don't role play.
It's just not your thing.
No. But it's okay. And I think for so many years I was like, well, it's not okay. I need to have a team. I need to do this. I don't.
Well, I mean, we were talking about this a little bit, before the show. Having a team is almost an ego thing from time to time. Like when you have a really large team, do you have a really large team because you're being more profitable, you're helping the client out better, or are you doing it because now my head's bigger because I have a big team and I can all these people work for me?
I never want to take credit on the MLS for someone's deal that I had no part of. Like that's my number one pet peeve is for agents. You need, because my dad did that to me, to be quite honest. And, it really, it made me feel second class. And you want your team, if you do have a team, if you choose to have a team, your job is to build them up. Mm-hmm. It's not to take credit for what they're doing. It's to help them become better people so that they make you a better person. I love teaching new agents, but I don't think I would ever team. Like, I have some agents that I give leads to and I help, and, they can call me at any time. And we talk through scenarios and we get offers accepted for them. I don't want credit. I don't take money.
See, I mean those are. I love the feeling of that power that you're giving a new agent. That feeling of you're doing awesome. That's amazing. I can relate it to like when my son is playing baseball or my daughter. I don't know anything about soccer, so I feel bad because I can't help her with soccer. But baseball, I do know. And so when I help him learn a little something, and then I hear him teaching somebody else, like that's the feeling that's how I can relate to it.
Yeah.
When you're teaching an agent to do something, they go out and close a deal and they've done it from point A to point B or to Z, and they come back and they're like, thanks, it really helped me out. Or they don't even have to say thank you, just to see them progress. That's an awesome feeling. You have kids, so you kind of know that feeling, right?
You just want them to do better than you did. And I think my dad wanted that for me. And then, but not taking money for it, like, it's just, if I give them a lead, give me, we'll just do a referral type thing. But for any agent to call me, any agent, I don't care who you are. If you want to call and you want to talk over a deal, let's do it. Because I love talking about real estate. It's like in my blood. It's 24/7. I don't do anything else. My husband, I actually made him get licensed. Because, I don't want a team, but if he could help, he's not on a payroll, so it's all right.
Yeah, it makes it easier. Well, that was the other thing, right? And so one part of the building the team was the ego. Right. The other part is the profit margin. I mean, your profit margin literally goes down when you build a team, when you start.
My overhead's so low you could trip over it. And I live very frugally. Like, we go on nice trips, but I drive a 5-year-old car. I do too many miles. But, my mortgage is like $2,200 a month. Like, I don't need a huge amount of money to fuel my ego because number one, I don't think I have a big ego.
You're other pretty quiet.
Other people might think different. Well, when I have had a couple of drinks, maybe the alter ego comes out. But, it's one of those things. If you're humble and you live humbly, and you just want to help people, it comes back tenfold. Mm-hmm. So, and that's really what what I'm all about.
That's what I was really getting from you too, is that you're just out there helping people.
I just want to sell houses.
Whether it's but whether it's somebody that you're selling a house to, or helping to buy a house, or agents that you're helping to learn how to buy houses, you are just out there, or helping us to provide shoes for the homeless. You're just out there helping people. That's awesome.
That's all I want to do.
Because
it's the secret. It's the power, positive. What you put out comes back tenfold.
Yeah. Reciprocity, whatever you want to call it, it's the same exact thing. It's the whole reason why our podcast is ever anything. I say that all the time because when we first started, like I tell people, it was just me and him talking about stuff. And don't get me wrong, that stuff is relevant, important. There's some great concepts in there, but nobody really listens because you can hear it pretty much anywhere. As soon as we turned the tables and made it about you guys, that made all the difference in the world.
Yeah,
truly.
And that's
is that mine? Okay, no, I thought I was getting texts.
That's Facebook on our thing. I don't know why it does that. We turn off the volume, but it still does it.
That's all right.
But thank you, Facebook. We appreciate it. No, but I mean that's really what it's about. It's if you can just change your mindset, and it's difficult. Especially if you're new in this industry, you're 20-something years old, it's very difficult to turn your mind and focus the attention on the person in front of you.
And there's so much noise. I couldn't imagine getting into this business now.
With social media?
Well, with social media, and, I didn't get an iPhone and probably, it's one of those things where it's like, what do you do? Do you buy leads? Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do this? And I think there needs to be someone to shake you and be like, no, you can go back to basics. You don't have to spend any money in the first 6 months of this business to make shit happen.
Yeah.
It really, it's oversaturated with noise, with people buy my product, do this, do this, do this. Just, it could be so simple. And I've always said, real estate is simple.
Yep.
It's people that just
make
it not.
You're gonna trip over your own self, and we've said that in one of our way earlier episodes, right? Seriously, it's that easy.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's get in front of people, tell them what it is you do. Whether you're doing it in person, whether you're calling them on the phone, whether you're on Instagram, Snapchat,
and not
Facebook.
Everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna want you to sell their house. But the first rejection is the worst. Get over it. Get over yourself, and just do it again.
Right? I like that. You don't like everybody you meet. What makes you think everybody's going to like you?
I hate treat everybody equally.
Exactly. See, it's fair.
It's okay.
All across the board.
Yeah, and I'm at the point in my career now where I can pick if I don't want to work with somebody, and I think that's the best power on earth. So if you're coming across somebody, don't be afraid to say, you know what, this isn't going to work. You know, it gives you so much. It gives you power, and it gives you, your time is worth something. Even if you're not, you know, I mean, probably when you're first starting out, you take everything that breathes.
Well, but you need to close a transaction.
But you want to take an overpriced listing, you know? Well, let me look at a few factors. Does it have high visibility? Will my sign be out there? Will I, you know, get a lot of people at the open house? There's other factors involved, but you know, 9 times out of 10, no, I'm not, because my job is to sell houses and not just list them. Right.
To actually close the transaction.
Yes.
Because I don't want you to be pissed off at me when the house doesn't sell because it's overpriced.
Right. I mean, you know, if I go into an overpriced listing, I have the reductions already pre-done.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, by, you know, 21 days, we're talking about price again.
Yeah.
And this is where it's going. So we'll do it your way, but then we'll do it my way.
And it's fair.
Right.
And they understand.
Right, because I'm putting money up front. You're going to, yeah.
No, I like how you noted the other factors, though, because it does make sense if you're going to take an overpriced listing.
Yeah, there's certain things.
It's exposure. You're putting your sign in somebody's yard. That's marketing.
Depends on where that sign is. But
yeah. Well, I mean, instead of a condo where it's secluded on the side, nobody sees it. Right. And I like that because then you can hold open houses and, you know, that one might not sell, but you might have found the investor that's closing, you know, 90 deals a year in the next 3 years.
I don't know if there's any more of those guys out there.
Right. They're far and few between, but you never know. You can't win the lottery if you don't play.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, no. And these guys just keep giving. We're doing 14 units down on actually in Logan Heights. New construction coming on the market this summer. I'm having a little plug there. But if you need new construction townhouses.
Wait. There's new construction in San Diego?
Yeah. Ocean View Boulevard, too.
What?
Yeah, great price point. $450-ish, you know, for 3-bedroom, 2-bath, new construction townhouses.
No HOA?
So,
I mean, no...
small HOA.
No Melrose because it's in an older area.
Yeah, and that area is revitalizing, and it's, you know, but the same investor. It's the other partner, and he's building some units.
See,
so it just keeps, you know, and I just sold his personal house last month, so it just keeps going. It's a snowball, you know. How long your snowball goes is up to you. Mm-hmm. You know, how big is your mountain? It just keeps going
and going. All right, Courtney, see,
are you there?
Right? Was that quick or what? I told you it was gonna be.
We didn't even have any whiskey.
Didn't even have any whiskey and still had a good time. All right. Tell people how they can get a hold of you.
You can go on my Instagram. It's Homes in San Diego. Or my cell, 619-947-3516. Down there. And I actually answer my phone.
What?
Yeah.
It doesn't go to voicemail?
No. Well,
once in a while. You can't stop it. Yeah.
But honestly, if anybody wants to chit-chat, give me a call.
You hear that? New real estate agents? You never know what kind of friends you're going to make.
I make a good mentor.
And if she likes you, she might even send you some leads.
We'll see. I got a lot of open houses coming up.
When 30 for 30, you're still at it?
Oh no! Well, no, my investor, we're doing 85 over the next 3 years, and they're all single family, like entry level properties.
So you're saying you have properties that need open houses hosted?
Shitloads.
You hear that? Real estate agents just getting started.
It's called opportunity.
Yes.
You just gotta grab it.
You just gotta take it, snatch it, make it your own. All right, who are we gonna tag?
Oh God. So can I do 2 people?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna tag my husband because you guys, you said you might want to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
He's a San Diego police officer. He's also a realtor, but he hasn't really started that part of his life yet. And then I don't know if you've talked to Shay Hasselman. At KW. He actually runs a team in both San Diego and in Vegas. So that might give you some type of insight into cross-state lines.
San Diego and Vegas.
So, and he'll drink your whiskey.
All right, perfect. So we got a hot market in San Diego and a blazing one that goes way up and way down super fast in Vegas.
We've done 2 deals together in the last 12 months, and he was, we met when I was at KW, and he's one of my favorite humans in this business. We're
definitely gonna tag him, see if we can get him on the show. Well, what'd you think?
Shay. Good. That was easy.
See, let people know. Is it easy to come on the show?
Yeah. Super easy.
Super chill. And look, now that you're happy, the sun came out.
I know, right? And so I don't have to get rained on my way.
You were so nervous. You brought the rain with you, but now you're relaxed and you bring the sunshine.
Just opened up. See all the possibility out there. See all the houses you could sell.
See? Oh, yeah, you should see it at night. One of my buddies, Jose Valencia, was a lender, transitioned to a realtor, or was a realtor, transitioned to a lender, came back to real estate. He's going to be on the show later in a couple weeks again now as a realtor. And he was out here one time at night, and he's like, dude, every light that lights up is an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I had, I know we're running out of time, but there was a coach in one of my offices who said, you know, if someone said that there was a $10,000 check in a mailbox, would you go find it?
Of course you would. You know, people do it for $50. You ever seen those promos where you're hiding $50 eggs lying around people and they go crazy?
So every single door out here, I mean, to look at people like, you know, you don't want to look at people like money and a paycheck, but if you really think about it, there's minimum $10,000 in every single mailbox.
Go find it.
Go find it.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, quick reminder, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. So if you guys can help us out, let us know. You can email James at seeusfirst.com. His cell phone number is 619-884-0045, and he'll help you out with all your insurance needs. Or real estate agents, if you have an office and you're trying to add another line of business into your office, let us know. We can help you with that too. You can get hold of me if you want to be part of the podcast. Hernan at seeusfirst.com, 619-884-4915. Sorry, that was your number, the other one, 4915, or social media at Business Bros Pod. You got anything last minute? You look like you were going to say something.
I was just going to say that thanks to Courtney, because now we're up to probably about 7 pairs of shoes, I think. We should be able to get about 7. So, yeah.
So keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen.
358 to go.
358 to go.
That's good.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being on the show again, Courtney.
No problem.
Really thank you. And thanks for the sun. Came back. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out. Easy peasy. Facebook, thank you. We love you.